at eating bear paw in Japan.
In this video, we're taking on the most
bear paw
shockingly
is
bizarre
crazy.
foods we can find here in Tokyo, Japan. Japan is known for its sashimi, its ramen, and its
It
wagyu.
probably
But
got
did
a
you
lot of
know
meat
it's
in it,
also
though.
known for some other weird stuff too? This is a country where you can find foods like raw horse, raw shark heart, and even
Oh,
alien-looking snakefish called borasubo. Well, today I'm on a
don't know
mission to
about
find the
that, bro.
strangest, most unique restaurants serving food fare you won't find in any other country. And by the end of this video, I'll eat one of the most shocking foods I've seen anywhere ever. We're talking
bear
about
paw is kinda
a bear
interesting,
paw. I
bro.
know what you're thinking. That's not food. You mean a bear's foot? That's what I mean. We have a lot to get to today, but let me tell you, this video is going to be challenging for me as a
Doing some
consumer, but
tacos?
also for
Okay.
you as a viewer. So I need you to hang in there. Stay with me through this. Don't make me do this alone. All right, right now we're headed to our first location, the location containing the bear paw. Right behind me, GBA Kishiya. This is a restaurant specializing in game meats. Evidently included in those game meats is bear paw. This is a dish that takes all day to make, so we come here in the morning to see it get started, and by this evening, we're actually gonna be able to eat it. But first, I wanna take a look at this bear paw. Oh my God. Guys, have you ever seen anything like this? Three
That is
giant bear paws.
huge.
Where's the fourth one? This bear was an amputee. This bear went top. Iraq. I'm sorry. You can see clearly these two are the back feet. This is the front paw. Oh, it feels so weird. Look at these massive fingernails, claws
Damn.
that could actually
Imagine
tear you
that's
to
attacking
shreds.
you.
And then on this side, dude, look at that pad. This is thick, callous. Oh, it's bigger than my hand. All right, I'm gonna pick up the back one. Oh my God, it looks
It don't even look
notably
real.
different. A big, thick, padded, super callous bottom of the
Looks
foot
like
right there. Thick
what's it
hair
called?
covering
A
everything, and then
boofer.
of course right here, that's where its ankle socks end. This is a wild one for me, but what's really wild is trying to understand how this even works. Where are these bears from? Why are they eating it? Why is it so expensive? And how did this become a tradition in Japan? That is what I need to find out. Next, I'm gonna head inside and speak to the owner about this. We have a lot to discuss. The sourcing is perhaps the most interesting part of this. How do you, in a giant city with like 20 million people, get your hands on these hands?
まあヒグマなんで北海道
He actually shipped all the way from Hokkaido, and he asked a middleman company who has connections with all these hunters, like from Hokkaido, and he's also in connection with like hunters themselves as well.
Hunters. So all the bears here are hunted. They're not like farm-raised bears, I guess. Are
Bear.
there that many bears in Japan?
やっぱダメな本州で言うと
There are many bears out there. However, the good thing is the demand's pretty low, so there's not as many stores or restaurants that serve bear paw in Japan.
Why is there a
That's still
focus on
kinda
the feet
crazy,
in
though.
particular?
昔からその高級食
It's considered like a luxury dish in China over there. So that culture kind of swept into Japan. And so even in Japan, it's considered a luxury dish. In addition to that, personally for Kishi-san, he really enjoyed like the impact of it.
I assume when he says impact, I mean like the visual. Take a look at this. That looks insane. Here, hold it.
Yeah.
It's so heavy.
It's so big.
It's so big.
It looks like it came from a dinosaur. So from here, we're gonna prepare it, and by tonight,
just
it'll be ready
imagine
to
the
eat.
bear.
Step one is happening right here. He has
Those
a
pots
pressure
chasing you
cooker pot,
down. You're
and
not
he is
even looking
filling
at
that
the
with
same.
water right now. He puts that into the pot, submerging the whole thing, and we will say goodbye to that guy. We'll see that in a couple of hours.
In the meantime, the chef prepares a delicacy so rare, few Japanese have even tried it.
Like a brain?
The brain of a deer. First,
What
it's
the
lightly
hell?
seasoned with flavor enhancers, salt, MSG, and pepper. Next, he coats both sides of the brain with flour. In a skillet, the chef adds a splash of olive oil and a bit of butter. Once it's sizzling hot, the
Brain.
brain is placed in the pan. When one side is fully seared, he gives it a flip, basting it with care.
I don't know about
Into
that.
the oven it goes for 20 minutes to cook through. Then it returns to the skillet for a final touch of golden perfection, if you want to call it that. He flavors the
Cooking it
plate
like
with
a
a sauce
steak.
made with a blend of herbs, garlic, breadcrumbs, and anchovies.
All right, folks, this is my first meal of the day, and it is a doozy. This is not just any ordinary
deer
brain.
brain.
This is the brain of a deer. What is a part of the brain that understands how traffic works? Because that is missing in every single deer, especially in Minnesota, where I'm from.
Huh.
Let's dig into it. So I've got some of my green emulsion mixed with some of that beautiful
Kinda looks
brain.
like-
Let's give it a shot.
Oh, it breaks like fish.
Wow. Very fatty, soft, tender. The outside does have a little bit of a skin to it. That being said, all the flavors in my mouth, fireworks, amazing.
This is my first taste of the day, and I've got to say, it's a strong start. But in the end, it's just a distraction from the
That's
inevitable
crazy to start.
bear paw.
I am here
With
again
your
with
brain.
Kishi-san. 2 hours has gone by and we are gonna remove the bear paw from the pot and see how it looks. Oh, it looks nuts. It's a bit smelly, although this is looking a lot cleaner and you can see the claws
that
just
looks
sticking out of the
crazy, bro.
water. From here, he's filling the pot with even more water and dumping some of that out. The smells in here are amazing.
Mm.
Not really. He peels off the bottom of the foot, the pad, revealing the pink subdermis.
Bro, what the
Slowly
hell?
but
It
steadily,
looks like
he peels
rubber.
away the skin and the fur, revealing the nice pink meat underneath.
It's like rubber or something.
Looking at this thing now without the hair, it looks even more terrifying. It's so big, so muscular. I mean, look at this foot.
Damn.
It looks wild. From here, he's gonna finish the tedious work of pulling out every single hair, and then that's gonna head back into the pressure cooker, right? Right.
While the bear paw spends some hours grazing, I'm hitting the streets on the lookout for some more exceptional, unexpected Japanese food.
While our bear paw is cooking at our first location, we have come here, a place called Rice and Circus. And let me tell you, it is a circus inside. And no, I don't just mean it's wild
They
and
got
chaotic. I mean, like
camels,
every animal that you've ever
alligators.
seen in a circus, they're probably serving them up here. This is not common food in Japan. This is kind of like wild stamina dude foods. The owner is already underway cooking up our first dish. We're gonna go inside, check it out, and then learn more about the food they're serving here. Let's move. All right, folks, I'm entering the kitchen now, meeting Mr. Momiyama-san right here. This is our starting course. Kintama. That might, in Japanese, mean testicles.
Oh, hell no.
Testicles. These are not just any testicles. These are wild boar testicles.
Bro,
I'm told
what
they're a
the
little
hell?
bit smaller than a pig's testicles. Now, he is
We
going to
wanted to
prepare this
try
into a
everything.
delicious appetizer for me to try. Step one, he takes the testicle, which appears to be frozen. It's a testicle icicle at the moment. He slices each end and he takes the skin from the outside of the testicle and just peels it away. From here, he gives the testicle a bit of a slice. They look like they could be pepperonis on a pizza. Kind of, a little bit, not really. He eats it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then here we have some flour.
Why are
These
you
look like
holding the salt
donut
like that,
holes
though?
at this point. The testicles are sizzling away. He throws some greens into the
Awkward.
pan and a little bit of butter. He hits it with some soy sauce. He seasons the plate with pepper. And just like that, our testicle is finished. I'm gonna give one a shot right now. Oishi? Oishi. Oishi. All right, he says it's yummy. Let's go for it. Yeah, oishi.
Oh, thank you.
It's got a nice flavor to it. It almost tastes
It's
more
like
beefy
sausage.
than it does porky, even though it is technically pork.
Well, I guess it is.
You would think it would be more fatty and gelatinous, but it's almost like a hard pate. It has kind of almost like a crumbly texture in the center. The seasoning's basic but delicious. He's got some veggies in there too. It's legitimately good. So this is my appetizer, and it's actually
There are
the
some
least
people
strange
that
thing I'm going to be eating here
cook
today.
real
I want to
good.
talk to this guy more to learn about how this place works.
And they
Thank
can
you for
make
the
anything
testicle. That
taste
was a
good.
wonderful experience. This place seems like it has a little bit of everything. Can you explain what the theme of this place is?
美味しいは楽しい。楽しいは美味しい。
The motto of their company is fun equals good tasting food. And so we want people to be happy, like having fun. And when you serve things that are so like bizarre and interesting, it's just like naturally they have a smile on their face or they're like really intrigued.
Can you tell me some of the more bizarre items that are popular here?
特殊なやつはやっぱり、
One of the rare ones is definitely the testicle, and then also the brain, sheep, pig, and for this
brain
year,
just
they're
looks
thinking
so
about
crazy to
hopefully
eat,
getting whale brain.
Well, brain.
Whale brain. Is that the size of a Cadillac?
Right.
I am back in the kitchen with Momiyama-san. We've got one other food in store. That food being this right here. That, my friends, is a Japanese crow that he's about to cook up that I'm going to be tasting shortly. Step one, he puts it in a bowl
I mean,
and he
that's just like
seasons
a
it
chicken,
with
I
a little
guess.
bit of salt. He hits it with a little bit of oil.
I know
The
it's not a
seasonings
chicken,
are
but-
quite simple, especially for Japan, but it's because folks here want to have the real taste
You know
of
what I mean.
whatever animal it is that they're eating. He puts it on a steel tray, and it looks like that is going to head into the oven in the world's
it
smallest
looks like
kitchen.
an
20 minutes
alien, bro.
has passed. It is time to pull out that crow. There we go. Still sizzling. Oh my gosh, it looks insane. Look at that face. All right, folks, we have our epic main course right here.
Looks
Starting
dry
with
as
the
hell.
bird. The breast meat is usually the best because it has the most actual protein. So it
They're
looks a
wrong.
little bit medium. Let's give it a shot.
Nah, you gotta throw that back in the oven.
Not bad. It kind of tastes like quail breast, but more substantial. It's a bigger bird. It's got bigger pecs, more muscle for more flight. That is the breast. But my favorite part of most birds is right here. This is the drumstick. Oh my God, just do some jujitsu to it. Oh yeah, that's what happened to Conor McGregor right there. And then there you have it. Cheers. Yeah, tough indeed. It's a rich meat. It tastes good. It's most similar to maybe quail or puffin. A bit tough. And it has a lot of hemoglobin. It tastes like bloody and juicy, almost like a steak.
So that is the crow. But the real highlight of this location is right
Kinda
beside
beat.
it. The horse's, how do I say this?
Hell nah.
At first glance, it may seem
Bruh.
terrifying to some
What
of
the
you.
fuck is this, bro?
And that's because it absolutely is.
Let's talk about what we're gonna be eating today. You have, I feel like we need to
Ain't no
bleep it.
fucking way,
Today I'm
bro.
having a horse penis. Why?
みんなこう例えば鹿のチンコ食べた
So first reason is because a lot of people throw away penises. So to like use things that we don't use, kind of like sustainability, I guess, in a way. The second reason is definitely for fun. Everyone who comes here, they always ask, do you have this penis? Do you have that
But
penis?
people
Seems pretty fun. All right, should we do
go
it?
there to try that.
Okay, so we have our horse part right here. He's gonna pick it up
Bro,
and just
why
show
the
us
grip is
size.
crazy.
That's big. And when he puts it down, it looks like it could be its own species. I never thought I would come face to face with something
Bruh.
like this. Brutal. The first thing he does is he puts it into this pot of boiling water. And you know what? Let's get a couple in there while we're at it. All of that is gonna boil in there for 90
That's
minutes.
fucking
I'm told
insane.
these horse parts are from France, Japan, and Canada. Wow, it's such a multicultural group right there.
After boiling
How
for a
do you
while,
even
all
get
the
that,
meats are
though?
moved to a pressure
Like
cooker for
what?
10 minutes, with salt and MSG added to give the
Killing
horse
horses?
parts a flavor boost. Once the boiling is done, it heads into the oven for another 30 minutes to really lock in the flavor.
Let's see the final product. Oh my God. Ooh. Here we have our horse appendage plated in its final resting place. It looks,
Crazy.
yeah, it looks gruesome. I don't know what to say. I'm not excited. Hold on, let me give it a little bit of a sniff. Good smell, he said. This thing right here costs $56.
Hell
It's a bit
no.
pricey for a nightmare of a food experience. If we were showing this in a traditional Japanese film, we would have to do this to it. Ah, pixelation. So I'm gonna start with mid-shaft, I guess. This is a good time to click away from the video, but don't do it. Oh God, it's so gummy.
Bro, I
This is a
wanted to
lot.
fast forward
Damn.
so
The
much,
only
but-
thing giving me comfort is knowing that in a second, I'm gonna turn the camera
Whatever.
around and make the camera guy take a bite. Cheers. What? That tastes pretty good. It just tastes like kind of roast beef. I thought it was gonna have an intense
Bro, you
smell
taste
or
a
gamey
nut,
aroma
bro.
to it. It doesn't. What about this part?
You tasting
Oh,
nut.
this thing has been braised so long in that pressure cooker. It has really broken
Hell
down
no.
all the fat. It's become very tender. They could throw this inside a Mexican taco. You wouldn't
Oh,
really know
no.
what it was. You would think
No,
it's
no, no.
beef. Sure, there's some unusual textures. It's kind of like gooey, tendon, soft meat. You can just see the texture as I move it around. But in the end, it's pretty good. So I know what you're asking yourself. Since I generally enjoy this overall, am I gonna be willing to try the tip? The answer may surprise you. It's no. But my camera guy. I've got a small portion right here.
Oh
Here,
my
let me-
God, camera guy.
From here.
Damn.
How you feeling, Thomas?
Not so great anymore.
Stab it.
Have to eat the whole thing.
It's a one-biter. Give it a shot. It's like braised beef. Imagine it's just braised beef. You want some sake?
Yeah, spit it out.
Go ahead.
So fatty.
Well done. That is an experience you can't
Should've
undo. But
just
today we
quit
have a
on
lot
the
more to
spot,
see.
buddy.
So we're going to be going to that first location
Ain't
again
no
to try
way.
the completed bear paw. But first, if you are coming to Japan, I highly
Ain't no
recommend
fucking
booking
way,
a
bro.
food tour or food experience with buyfood.com. I'll talk about them
God.
more at the end of the video. But now we're headed to our next location where we're going to try something that's still alive. Let's move. We have come to our next location here, a place where you can actually go fishing for your food yourself. And then the food they turn that food into. It's wild. Let me show you how it works. First of all, we have a diagram right here. Step 1, buy a fishing rod, then go fishing, then do a dance of joy once you've caught a fish. From there, you pass the fish to a chef, then they cook it
Oh, you
any
get
way you
to
prefer,
catch your
and
own
finally,
fish?
you eat the
It's
fish.
pretty
Let me
cool.
show you inside. Basically, it's a
That'll be
giant
fun.
pool with a boat built on top of it. Then inside, you've got water that is full of fish. These are fish that you can catch yourself with a fishing rod if you would like. Along here, they have a load of different fish. They have horse mackerel, they have sea bream. As you keep going, they even have lobster. How are you gonna fish for a lobster? We are gonna be having a
put your
lobster
hand in
later
there.
though. Right now, we're headed into the kitchen for a food known as dancing squid. We have our
Dancing
squid wrangler
squid.
right here. We have our chef, and we have the star of the show right here. That is the
That
squid.
squid is
Step one,
nasty.
remove the squid from its little prison. He takes a knife and he goes beneath the cap, cutting it off, removing it, turning
And
the
he
whole
changes
thing
the
white.
color.
He puts a stick inside of it, puts it over some ice, and then he takes some soy sauce, he pours it on top, and that is our dancing squid. Oh man, that looks
Bro, it's actually
gnarly.
dancing, bro.
Additionally, he gets some lemon to put on top. Can I say that was a pretty short-lived dancing career? Oh, hold on. We got a twitch. Meanwhile, over here we have the cap from the squid. The chef splits it in half, and that's like its organs and brain and digestive. All of it's in its head. He peels the skin from the main meat of the squid, leaving behind this beautiful, meaty, translucent layer. From here, he cuts the bony
Yeah, that's
tendon
another
from the
thing I'm
cap.
not trying,
Ew, we don't
bro.
want that. He lightly scores it, not cutting it all the way through. Whoa, then he chucks it at the cutting board. It curls up immediately. And from here, he really juliennes the squid, cutting it into thin pieces. He put the skin of the squid onto the serving dish, and then our squid cap sashimi going on next. Good? Good, thank you. Boom, squid right here. This is like the thin strips of sashimi. Let's give it a shot. Hit it with a little bit of soy sauce.
Sashimi.
Oh, that's good. It's a delightful texture. It's cold, it's very dense. It's really like squid, and that's about it. If you had this skin on there, I'm guessing it would feel a lot more slimy. Ugh. Am I supposed to eat this? You know, after the horse? Let's go for it. Hit it with a little bit of soy sauce, and
Bro, you got a strong stomach, bro.
I wish I had a beer. It's really crumpy. Oh my God, it's like chewing on snot. It's like if a booger had a skeleton. It's similar firmness to this part right here, except it's even more thin, except for it also has a slimy layer of
Yeah, I'm
skin
up
on the
to
outside of
try
it.
a
I
lot
kind
of
of like this. So
things,
that
but-
is the dancing or seizuring squid. But from
Not
here,
to
we're
this
going
level,
back
bro.
into the kitchen because they have one more live seafood that they want to show me. Round two requires one of these, a lobster. These are red spiny lobsters. Yeah, take a look at this bad boy. Lively, big. They've got huge legs. It's like the spider of the ocean, but with a tail too. This is what we're after right here, the sashimi that resides within the tail. But this isn't just about the sashimi. They're calling this live lobster. Let's go see how they do it. Step one, he shivs the lobster. He goes under the shell, separates the tail, and rips the whole top of it off. Now that gets transported quickly over to here, and the head is put onto this decorative boat. Now he's got the tail.
And they
He
keep
takes
the
the scissors
juices.
to it, releasing that delicious succulent meat on the inside. He's cut it in half, and then he cuts it into smaller bits. That goes on to this beautiful decorative platter. A platter complete with a moving lobster head. Do you think the lobster is gonna be okay? I don't want it to hold a grudge. It looks mad. There you go. Sorry. Don't show that. Meanwhile, chopsticks. Right here we have that sashimi. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Oh my God, it's so delicious. It's tender, it's a little fatty, there's no sinew,
I don't
and it's
know
a
about
completely
lobster.
different
I gotta
experience
try
to
it
eating
again.
cooked
I
lobster.
tried
One
it
more bite.
once, but
Thank you, lobster.
It
You did
wasn't
good work.
what I
I'm not considering
expected.
everyone's opinion in the room, but for me, absolutely delicious. So that is the live seafood portion of today. But from here, we're going back to the Bear Paw location to see if our food is finally done. Let's take a look. We are back in the kitchen. I am with Kishi-san, and he has finished doing his manicure on this bear paw. It looks terrifying. How do you say scary in Japanese?
you don't even look
Kawaii.
good.
怖い
Guys, I don't. Oh, the nails even come off.
Eat it.
There you go. Oh boy. So from here, we're gonna finish the cooking process. He is putting the paw into the pot, and that is gonna boil for about 15 minutes.
While the bear paw boils, the chef adds a mix of greens and vegetables, carrots, onions, bay
That's where
leaves,
the flavor's
leeks,
gonna come
celery,
from.
and garlic cloves to help eliminate any gamey flavors.
I guess the big question, what everyone's wondering is, why are people eating this?
逆に他の国食べない
Counter question, he's like, do not people abroad like eat bear paws?
No, bro.
Wow, well, you
That's
got
not
me
normal.
there. We do all the time. No, some some people eat bear in the USA, but I would say it's pretty
What?
rare. They honestly would probably discard the paws.
まあ、そうですね。まあ言われるのはやっぱ
Same as like China, some people eat it for good
Ain't nobody
luck,
eating
good
bear at
fortune.
all.
In addition, there's a lot of collagen, so a lot of people come eat it for like beauty reasons, like for the skin, etc.
After 30 minutes, the stove is turned off, allowing the
Hey,
pressure
I
in
mean,
the
I
pot to
guess.
naturally release until it's safe to open.
It's interesting saying that there's collagen, it's good for beauty, because there's no way women are eating this.
そんなことない
Right.
あ、そんなことない。
逆に女性の方がこんなの強い。
Actually, around like 60% of the people who come to his restaurant and eat the bear paw is actually women.
Amazing. Maybe this is just a
Yeah, but
sign
in
of modern
America-
times. Women are getting into the crazy food too.
Next,
Yeah,
he
you ain't
strains out the
getting that.
vegetables, leaving the stalk behind.
Good luck.
A portion of which is boiled separately to create a reduction. And here it is, the bear paw, after an entire day of boiling and preparing.
It still don't even look
In a
good.
separate pan, the paw is simmered with some bear stock while being basted with vinegar and honey. Once the
Looking a
bear
little
paw
better
turns
now.
light brown, it's left to rest. Meanwhile, the remaining rich brown stock from the pan is poured into the sauce reduction and boiled for a few more minutes until it becomes thick.
All right, guys, we have it right here. The final
I'll try
product,
that.
the fully cooked bear paw, and it's all due to this man right here, Kishi-san. Amazing work. Let's talk about money. This is one of the most prized parts of the bear's body.
Oh,
He
they're
did not have any
expensive as hell.
paws laying around, and what he said is that I would have to buy 4 paws from a freshly hunted bear. How much did I pay for that? For 4 bear paws, it was over $1,000. Essentially, it's around $260 or $70 per foot. So maybe watch the video twice. Maybe go support our sponsors. I'm gonna build up a
Right.
little bit of liquid courage before we get started here. Now this is sake in a jar. Decent. I'm not really sure how to have at this. Oh, there's some nice gooey bits right there. The bear has a bit of a gamey, a bit of a funk to it, but then there's astringent, sour,
Yeah, I don't
smelly
do
balsamic
peat,
vinegar. So you can see
That
some
shit
of
gotta
that
be
has
cooked.
become very gummy and is falling off. Right here, I've got a little bit of the side of the paw.
Yeah,
Cheers.
you gotta take a shot before.
Very gummy, super gelatinous. It's a funky tasting bear. If I'm gonna get any meat out of this thing, I gotta go to the palm. These are the pads, the toes, and then the pads on the bottom of the foot.
This
That is
is
gonna be
huge.
super gelatinous. Let's try to get this. Oh, it's so gooey. So this seems to be a bit more meaty. This seems like legitimate protein. Let's give it a shot. Oh, wow. It's so spongy. It's like
Yeah,
eating
not
lungs.
good, huh?
You bite and it bites back. That is the springy tissue that's meant to support the weight of a bear that weighs over 450 pounds. Of course, it's just gonna be padding. I'm struggling here, my guy. He's already moved on to his next project. Let's try this. This is the toe. That one's a little bit more like cow skin, just very thick skin that's been braised forever. It's fatty, it's gelatinous. Right now I feel so grateful that he mixed all these bear flavors with his strong balsamic vinegar, and it's very powerful, and it's offsetting any of that funkiness from the bear claw. This is something I feel like that could feed a group of people. First of all, it's super rich. This can't be a meal. There's no way someone's sitting down to eat a whole bear paw. This is an unbelievable tradition, a food that when I heard about it, I was very shocked to hear
You
that it existed
ordering
here
it.
in
It's
Japan.
crazy.
Today I set out with the goal of eating bear paw, and we found one and we cooked it, and by golly, I ate it up. What a treat. But from now, I'm gonna go outside and tell you which food I thought was the most shocking from today and which food I suggest you never try. Let's move.
But we already
Today
know
was
you don't
a
gotta tell
wild
us,
day.
bro.
Inside, I told you I was gonna tell you which food was the most shocking to me, but also which food I think you shouldn't try. Can I be honest? It's the same food. It is the bear paw. Yes, I know I ate it, but I ate it for journalistic purposes. Basically, I ate the bear paw so you don't have to. I can't have it on my conscience that a bunch of tourists come to Japan and eat bear paw now.
That looks
Don't do it. This
interesting,
was
so-
such a unique experience
Yeah, I
and
wouldn't.
something I'm probably never gonna experience again. Throughout the day, it is amazing to see how Japanese folks look at food differently from really the rest of the world. Whether it's seafood, whether it's unusual animals, or whether it's unique preparations of those foods. Before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to the company that made this video possible, buyfood.com.
Traveling
buy
to
food.
Japan, make your trip extra special with an
That's me too.
omakase sushi dinner in
But thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.